straight up, yeah, you know we came way up. Hustle from the bottom, now look, we rich and famous. Way up, straight up, yeah, you know these streets dangerous. Made it from the bottom, now look, we rich and famous. Way up.
What's up, guys? It's Josh Kenyon. I'm here, about to hit some back and hamstrings today. So currently I'm running a 5-day split. I've been working with AJ since I've been working with him, we've been running the 5-day split. And it's really been to bring up my weaker points, which specifically would be probably my hamstrings and glutes. So running a 5-day split here, and this is the 5th session of the week. So the Saturday session is my back and hamstring session. So this is where I'm doing like lower back loading here, like a heavy hip hinge, you know, hit some glutes here, hit back, hit some biceps too, hamstrings, all that. So yeah, that's basically it, man. We're about to get it in, so. What's up? So first up, we're starting out with the single arm lat pull downs here, just to get the lats activated a little bit before we go into the heavy hip hinge for the day. So I'm gonna start out with one working set where we're actually pausing in the shortened position, do like 8 to 10 rep ranges, and then we're gonna go into 2 more sets, 12 to 15 rep range, just continuous reps there. So. Typically about 1 to 2 minutes between sets here for a movement like this. And then obviously for like a harder movement like the heavy hip hinge, definitely gonna need a lot longer rest between sets there. But even in the past, I used to rest only like a minute, man, like really more fast paced. So since I'm taking every set all the way there, you know, I gotta rest a little bit longer before the next set, you know, just because the muscle's gonna be more fatigued, so. Don't make it we did the lat pull downs, got the lats activated a little bit. Now we're about to go into the RDLs. So with these, what I've been doing is just a heavier top set in that 6 to 10 rep range, and like a back off set around 8 to 12 reps. And so I've been doing these beltless, and really for me, these are kind of like a game changer. I'm really trying to bring up my glutes and hamstrings. And in the past I used to do these and just completely butcher the movement and use only my back, because my back is a strong point. But now I'm rebuilding my form and working my way back up in weight. I'm trying to get to something relatively impressive, but they're definitely pretty challenging here. And so yeah, I'm just kind of warming up here, and I'm about to go. So typically right now I've been going like plate to plate. So I start with the bar, I do 135, 225, 315, and now I'm about to do 405, and that'll kind of give me a better indication of how the working set's gonna go. Once I get about 4 plates, I kind of get an idea of, you know, how it's gonna move. So we'll see how that goes. Awesome. Good. Not terrible. This is probably gonna be my last warm-up set here. So, you know, I was going plate to plate up until hit 405, and then now 455. And so this will kind of indicate how that top set's gonna go, because I'm thinking with that top set, well, it'll depend on how this felt, but last session I went up to did 525. Like 5, but what happened was I ended up warming up with 5 plates, so I kind of fatigued myself a little too much going into that working set. So this time I'm just going to stick with 4 1/4 or 4 1/2, whatever you want to call it, and we'll just see how that goes. Yeah, this is one of those moments where I did that warm-up set. I probably should have already had a little bit of chalk, because even with the straps, my hands was trying to slip a little bit. The weight wasn't feeling particularly super light. And obviously, you know, if the warm-up set's feeling that heavy, it makes you think, well, it makes you kind of second guess yourself on that working set. But it's one of those situations where it's like, I did it last week, I'll do it again. You know, you got to get out of your own head. So. Straps, got it. I had it, but straps. Man, I had another one, but I knew I had that in the back of my head that the left strap was gonna slip. I should have took my time, made sure it was locked in good, and I felt like I had that 6th rep, but that would have been a PR. But you gotta focus on what you can control. So we did what we could do, man. Same thing. Fail yet again because of my goddamn straps. It is what it is. Did not happen this time. I tried to rush like the 9th rep. I tried to rush it because I could feel my hand starting to slip, but it didn't really help me any. So I'm just gonna get on to the barbell rows next. I just recently, past few weeks, added them back in for a while. I was doing dumbbell rows, so I'm still not my strongest on these right now, but I've just been kind of, you know, adding a little weight week to week. So they're starting to get better, but I know they're gonna have more carryover to the remaining deadlift as well. But they're also just a good movement to do, man. One of the first back movements that I started out doing when I first started lifting, and for years, man, they were one of my staple movements. And you know, like I said, recently I was doing dumbbell rows for a while, and so I'm finally getting back to doing them, man. It kind of feels good to be back. I just got to get the strength back. So. These are pretty small jumps right now. Like I plan to work with 315, so if you think about it, like 295 is only 20 pounds. You know, it's like, is that really smart? You know, you might think that's probably gonna fatigue me, which it may add a little bit, but this is still a newer movement for me. So I figured just getting a little more work in, a little more practice is good for now. And once I get more comfortable with the movement, I would make bigger jumps. So that's kind of the thought process behind that. feeling out the weight. I don't know what I can do on this one. I don't usually use that handle, so playing a guessing game here, going by feel. But ideally, top set, 6 to 10 rep range, then a back off set, 10 to 12 rep range. So really here it's just a wider grip pull down. Typically I've actually been using like a mag grip handle attachment, but I didn't see the one I'm looking for, so just going with a classic straight bar, man. It's hard to beat that. So I'm not being super strict here. I'm just making sure I really connect with my back. And you know, the real key, obviously I'm trying to target the lats, so driving the elbows down, but I'm not being super strict here. You know, I'm getting a little movement with my torso, just making sure I get that good stretch at the top and good contraction. And you know, for me, I connect very well with my back muscle, so I don't really have to put too much thought into what I'm doing during the set. And that's really the goal, is ultimately you just want to be there during the set. You won't have to think about what you're doing. So that's that. So just making sure I got the seat set right. That's a big key there. You want to put yourself in a position to where you're most stable. So, you know, just where you have the leg pad, where you have this is super important, you know. So I always try to make sure I have my settings right. And just gonna do a couple warm-up sets here before I get into the working sets. The seated hamstring curls, I just do 2 working sets. One top set, heavier, 6 to 10 rep range, one in that 12 to 15 rep range. And with these, I actually am doing pauses in the contraction. It makes it a little harder there. Definitely humbling, but it gets the job done. So I gotta bring my hamstrings up. So I'm learning, especially on the hamstring curls, you gotta just stay locked in and stay composed, because usually you can probably do a couple more reps. You know, you just gotta be a little more patient. So I'm getting better at that. It's taking me some time. I used to be a little more just go, 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 super compulsive, impulsive with my training. So I'm getting better at just keeping my composure during sets, maintaining my stability, you know, so that I can actually get that extra rep and grind them out. Because, you know, if you don't maintain your stability, you're not gonna be able to grind out a rep. Maintain composure, instead of just trying to come in here and just mindlessly throw weight around. I've been there before. And I saw a lot of results, but over time, you know, you realize, like, you know, you'll never be as good as you could be if you start to learn how to really maintain your composure during a set. You'll just get more out of each set. So I'm learning things like that. But we'll do one more set. So just got done a little back and hamstrings today. And just to recap everything, so we started out with the single arm lat pull downs. Just really, I mean, as the name suggests, isolating the lats there. And then we went into my heavy lower back loading exercise of the week, really, which is the Romanian deadlifts. And it didn't go quite as planned. I did my top center back out set. I did 525 for 5, and then I was about to hit 6 rep, and the strap started slipping a little bit, and it just threw me off there. And then I backed off of 465. I got 9, but the strap started slipping again, and I wasn't able to get that 10th rep. So it kind of threw me off a little bit, but it's like, you know, I did what I could do, and not every session is going to be perfect. Obviously, ideally, you know, I would go into this session and just, you know, hit these PRs, you know, and have the highlight reel for everyone to see. But this is reality here. This is not, you know, just Instagram where you can just post your highlight here. That's really what happened, man. So it is what it is, man. But I matched my best there, really, so it's not terrible. And then I went to a wide grip pull down, hit the lats a little more, and then to the seated hamstring curls there with paused reps in the contraction. And then we did some bicep curls there to finish off. And I did not do glute drive or lying hamstring curls, which are other movements that I usually do on this session. But yeah, so that's all the session for the day. I did what I could do, man. You know, a different environment here. Having a camera on me is a little different than, you know, how I typically do things. So certainly played a role, whether or not, you know, I realized it. But now we're just gonna hit a few shots. You can kind of see what I'm looking like right now. I'm in the low 190s. I had 5 guys Thursday, And I woke up Friday like at 196, so that's like a high right now. So